Greetings from beautiful Cape Cod. Foran Realty is a full-service, independently owned boutique real estate firm located in the heart of Cape Cod in Dennis Village. We offer a wide array of services to our residential customers, including sales, vacation rentals, property management, and licensed house watching. In addition, we offer commercial sales and leasing services to our business clients. We hope you enjoyed today's show. Rob, one of the greatest challenges that people face, especially first-time home buyers, is coming up with that down payment that's necessary. And I know there's different programs and there's different levels. And if you don't put a certain amount down, you may have private mortgage insurance, which adds on. I understand there's an alternative, an option for people in the sense of a grant to help with their down payments on homes. Can we talk about the grant programs a little bit?
Absolutely. So grant programs, also in the business referred to as down payment assistance programs. Mm-hmm. Grant programs help give folks that would otherwise not have the money available to make a down payment and potentially can't get it from, they don't have anybody that can give them a gift, or they're not a veteran and eligible for the veteran loan. Yeah. It does give, it's one more opportunity to get the money necessary to become homeowners.
Sure. And these aren't second loans or second mortgages. They're truly grant programs that do not have to be repaid. Is that correct?
And it depends. So there are down payment assistance programs that take the form of a second mortgage. Okay. And some have a payment associated with it. Others get forgiven. So on a 1/36 basis over 3 years, a second mortgage would be forgiven and would be considered equity. And then there are true grant programs where money is given to a home buyer without the expectation of repayment. Okay. And it all depends on, there are a few different factors. Chiefly among them is credit score, mm-hmm. and as well as another important factor for the availability of grant monies is rental payment history and being able to demonstrate having paid rent on time for the last 12 months, which can be difficult if you pay it in cash rather than a check or a wire transfer.
Right. Yeah, so if you're thinking of doing, going and buying a house, it's best to create a paper trail, as they say.
Yes, paper trail is always best.
Bankers love paper trails.
We like to be able to follow the pennies.
Exactly. What sort of credit score do people need to have to get these range?
Mm-hmm. So generally at least 620. Okay. So any above 620 is preferred. Under 620, we may be looking at what options are available to either improve the score over 3 to 6 months. Or perhaps there might be other opportunities available, but generally 620 and above is what would be necessary.
Okay. And where does the funding come from for these grant programs?
These are generally coming from third-party, non-government organizations, NGOs, or nonprofits that are affiliated with a group of lenders, and they're the ones that are providing this down payment assistance to help people become home buyers.
And then in terms of closing timetables, mm-hmm. does it affect the typical closing? Does it extend it out at all if somebody's going for a grant, or is it just an added level of paperwork that needs to be completed?
So it depends on who you work with. Okay. And depending on, I know there are local programs here on the Cape mm-hmm. where down payment assistance may be available, but that might extend the timeline. Right. And particularly in what is still a very competitive market, a 60-day or 75-day closing is not tenable for most sellers. For grant programs we have access to, we follow the normal timeline where you're looking at a 30 to 45-day closing after the purchase and sale. Okay.
So I think the moral of the story, if you will, is don't be discouraged if you don't have the down payment that's necessary. Reach out to yourself.
There are still options.
There's options. Reach out. Ask about grant programs, and that may be one way to get you out of the rental world and into home ownership.
And particularly as we approach the summer season, where if someone's in a winter rental, they're going to be scrambling in just a short time period to figure out where they're going to be for the next few months.
Exactly.
And this is something to get a jump on sooner rather than later. And it's also important too that individuals using grant funds are working with the right realtor.
Right.
Because with the right realtor, you can get additional seller concessions
Yep.
towards closing costs, which help make it even more affordable for these first-time home buyers.
Right. We I know you worked with one of the agents in the office,
Mm-hmm.
and were able to utilize one of the grant programs, and it was a great thing for those buyers, and put the deal together. It was really nice and smooth.
So you still have to, the home buyer will still have to come up with funds,
Mhm.
and generally it's roughly 1% of the
Okay.
purchase price.
Yeah.
And from the deal earlier this year, the homeowner bought the house for around the condo for around $215,000, and they ended up coming to the table with just over $2,000.
But it was the grant that was able to make the deal come together for these particular buyers.
Yes, otherwise they would have been coming up with something in 5 digits, in the
Right.
5-digit range.
Right, exactly. So it's a great program. Certainly would encourage everyone to look into it. If they're thinking of buying and they just don't have that down payment, there are options.
Absolutely,
Okay.
especially when you compare it to having to come up with first, last, and security for your next
Right.
summer or off-season rental.
Right, exactly. So, well, thank you very much, Rob.
Thank you for having me.
I would like to thank our guests for coming in today and sharing their expertise with us. Do you have an idea for an upcoming show? We would love to hear from you. Please email us at foranrealty@foranrealty.com. Remember, we love the Cape and show it. We can be reached at 508-385-1355 or on the web at capecodproperties.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook and Twitter as well. We look forward to seeing you again next week.